What up? It's been a while since I gave an update. We bought a house. I need to clean up the backyard. Haven't cared that much. It's the backyard. No one's going to see it. And the dogs play back here. Anyway, bought a house. Got a big 2-story, 5-bedroom. So I haven't had much time to work on this. Still got Logan's 240 over there. Truck's all up. Carport. Anyway, update. Motor. I finally found a transmission for it. I got an NV3500. Came from 4.3 S10. That really hurt. I went full electric water pump on the motor. Alright. Boop. So she's just sitting in here right now, but she is actually bolted up under the truck, which I need to remove. So let me get my tool and get up under there. So as you can see, the motor's setting way too far forward. This is with it hooked up to the stock cross member. I used a non-Chevy OEM motor or trans mount. So it is a Chevy one, but it's not the one for this transmission. Swapped it out, so I had 2 bolts. And we're almost lined up with the trans, but it's got to come back some. And I'm going to have to cut the transmission tunnel because the transmission is hitting the tunnel, so I'm going to have to cut some relief cuts, beat it out some more. I've already hit it with a sledgehammer quite a bit. But today I got to go under there and get this prepped to pull it back out again. So let's go under. So here's the stock Nissan with the aftermarket trans mount. I'm going to have to pull these and pull all this back out. Then I'm going to work on modifying this cross member. So let's just go ahead and nugga. 1, 2. Alright, let's crawl back out and pull it back out. So, ended up cutting down through there as a relief cut. And now the shifter is about where I need it. Going to have to modify the cross member still. Had enough room to actually put a radiator on it. Pull it back out. I'm going to deal with actually fixing that later. Put the motor back in, cover it back up. Boom. So, I got her pretty much almost done. I got to drill out 2 holes. I'm going to go eat lunch first, but not the prettiest welds, but they'll do. It's boxed in, pretty sturdy, welded inside and out. Got the radiator spaced away from the water pump. Might have to bring up the motor some. Transmission's dragging its nuts below the front frame support, whatever. And I might have to section that out for the distributor. But definitely progress. Okay, so this video is just a bunch of tiny updates. So, front of the truck, back of the truck. Crawl up under here. Ugh. So I don't have the trans bolted back in yet, but I made that, and it sets a little higher than I want it to. So we're going to see what happens there. Might have to do some more tunnel work. I'm going to try to shimmy that into place. Made a box, drilled it out. Hopefully it lines up the way I want it to. So this radiator's bad anyway. Definitely made some progress on the fitment. Got some clearance from, well, can't see it from the lighting. A little bit clearance. Anyway, I'm gonna get back under there and fix the trans. Okay, so this is going to sum up this episode. Had to make some changes, not really happy. Still debating on some things I'm going to do. So right now the motor is sitting very, very, very low. I had to beat out the firewall a little bit, you can tell by that, to get the distributor in, and I'd say the distributor has about an 1/8 inch from the firewall. So I've also had to pull this power steering hose, yeah, you can see it on the video, for the header to fit. And back here, we have just enough clearance. That's basically how much the distributor has as well. But the downside is the motor setting really low. Really low. So we're going to come down here. As you can see, the bell housing is potentially a little lower than the frame. So there's a crossbar. Then I'm going to go ahead. I have to notch it for the oil pan because it would be hitting the oil pan as is. So I'll have to notch this and weld it back up. I'm going to take this, put it on there, and see how low we're actually setting. Going to have to add some more paint. So all this was clear coated, and well, come back here to the back, taking the bed off, getting it ready to start doing the framing for the rear end. Please excuse what you can see of my dead yard. We have 2 dogs and their favorite thing to do is dig. I'd much rather see them dig in the middle of the yard versus around the fence, because if they're in the middle I know what they're doing. If they're at the fence they might get out. So yeah, I'm going to do that cross member and see how low that bell housing sets. Might bring up the motor a little bit, but if I do that I have to cut out the entire trans stump, and that's what I was trying to avoid the most, because I don't want to have to refab, re-weld all that, because then I'd have to pull the dash, this, that, and the other. But cutting a slit down it gave me enough room to bring up the trans. She's pretty centered. It's enough to get it in there and get it to where it could be functional. But if I bring the motor up anymore, I'm going to have to cut around here, because the bell housing is hitting the firewall like over there. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'm going to go ahead and do the cut and welding that I got to do. Thank you to the subscribers that have actually stuck with this and given me the time for the views. I do appreciate it. I'm sorry I haven't been able to post much. I've just had a lot going on. So yeah, hopefully I'll have another video soon. Thank you.